So introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Keith Davy, but I also go by other titles such as Evolution as a rapper or MC. I go by the name Mr. Everything as a singer and the name Mental Maestro as a producer.
What is your mission?
My mission is to balance all these different hats I wear while, in a bigger picture, trying to find success for Strength Recordings.
Tell us a little bit about Strength Recordings.
Okay, Strength Recordings is a home, so to say, for artists with more to say. When I say that, I mean we're bringing more to the table content-wise than a lot of artists that have established themselves as masters of ignorance.
Do you work with any artists outside of SR?
Yes, I do. I've worked with many artists outside of SR due to the fact that I'm a producer as well as an engineer and also a ghostwriter. So I've done projects with other artists that are not underneath Strength Recordings. I just finished up a mixtape, ghostwriting an entire mixtape for a new artist on a come up. Due to the clauses in the contract, I won't be able to disclose who that artist is though,
Besides music, do you deal with any other forms of business?
I've taken a new business venture into being an author, as well as planning an attack on the clothing industry. Other than that, I was involved in video production for a while, and I went to school for networking, dealing with technology, like just to get money into my company,
Is money a problem for your forward progress with SR?
As of right now, I do find it difficult to deal with the prices of certain DJs, mixtapes and video circuits, getting videos on television, So I would say yeah.
As an artist, why do you feel you personally have more to say?
Well, I feel like I've experienced a lot as a person, and also I read a lot. I, have taken my brain elsewhere from just what I see as well.
Do you ever take a college course on business management, marketing, or music production?
No, I've basically relied on my experience in the music business to guide me, as well as doing research on certain things that I get myself into, certain endeavors I choose to get into.
How did your gospel LP come about?
Back in 2009, I made a song called Make a Joyful Noise, which was like one of the greatest songs of my whole musical career. And after making the song, the producer / engineer of the track, Morocco Greens of Green Studio NYC, told me that we should make a whole project of gospel. Like the song was just beautiful. Like no other word I could describe it with. It was just beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
What is your most memorable performance as an artist?
I would say my most memorable performance would be off the stage, actually. I was riding the 7 train coming from work in Sunnyside, Queens, and when I step on the train, it's a guitarist, playing for money, and I just had it in me to perform with him. So I asked him to slow the beat down a little, and I spit something that I had just wrote like recently. I actually had it on paper. I probably wrote it that day, and like the reaction from the people on the train was just so welcoming that, you know, I wish I could duplicate that in a video. Like, you know, it was just like naturally love. I mean, like, we were received by the people so well.
What is your most memorable beat made as a producer?
Our most memorable beat would have to be a beat that I named SFA. Back in like 2000, the year 2000, I made this beat, and it didn't come out in like just a one session kind of a thing. Like, I made, you know, the bottom layer of the beat and thought I was finished. We even, like, the team at the time was called Survival Records, and we even had a chorus with all these problems, son, with all these problems, son, and yo, it feels good to vacate. And then one night I come home, you know, and I'm playing the beat, I'm laying in bed, and something told me, like, yo, you know, go in on top of it with the keyboard. So I lay down not only just a keyboard, but a saxophone, some strings, and took it to a level as if like a real band was playing this beat. Like, it was amazing. Like, I remember my business partner at the time had promoted it in a show at York College. He had pretty much like a show that just consisted of him like non-verbally performing like a theatrical, you know, performance while the beat was playing in the background. And, you know, people actually came out to like see this performance, and I was one of them. I'm sitting in the crowd just as well as honored, like, you know, speechless as far as like, you know, everybody tuned in to this beat, and, you know, how big of a part it played in the, you know, the theatrical performance. Like, it was something real special.
What were some of the biggest roadblocks on your mission so far?
I would say, besides a lack of capital, clashes with the criminal justice system would take the cake for, you know, my biggest roadblocks. Twice I faced, you know, 5 and better, you know, locked up, and thinking like, what am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's so much to get involved with the business mission that, you know, when I was in those positions, it's just like overwhelming as far as like the depression that came about from thinking of having thrown all the opportunities away that, you know, were sitting in my lap.
What are some of the products currently being offered by Strength Recordings?
On iTunes, we have the Blessed to Be Here album, co-produced with Green Studio NYC. On Reverb Nation, there's a gospel album titled 60 Minutes Apiece by Evlar Lordian, co-produced with Green Studio NYC. I also have a book available titled The 3 Disciplines. It's an audio book, actually. There's a book called Man on a Mission. It's Volume 1, Legend in the Making. I'm soon to release the Man on a Mission LP as well. We're currently waiting on the release of a debut album from Just One of the Strength Recording artists, as well as a debut LP from Lee Majors, another SR artist.
What made you choose the title Man on a Mission for an LP?
Man on a Mission came from a book that I wrote. It's the full title is Man on a Mission Volume 1, Legend in the Making. And I made the LP to go hand in hand with the book. Actually, down to the order of tracks and the order of chapters. Like, I literally wrote the album to the book, basically. It's basically one and the same, just one is a book, one is an album.
How does the Man on a Mission LP differ from your previous works as an artist?
Well, in the past, my previous works were heavy content, meaning that I was dealing with a lot of issues that would, so to say, like deep, so to say. Versus Man on a Mission is very easy listening because it's dealing with life experiences rather than the ideas that come from life experiences.
What are your favorite tracks on the LP?
I would say my #1 favorite track is Yeah, I'm Back. And that is not even because I personally like Yeah, I'm Back the most. It's because my brother, who has been incarcerated for the last 6 years, took the strongest liking to that track. He told me in a letter, hands down, it's the best song on the album. So, I'm glad that I was able to give him a new favorite song for myself. That, shows that I'm making some artistic progress. But my second favorite track is also not due to the fact that I took, the strongest personal liking to it. It's because I was sitting in an office one day with my mother, and I had her listen to Deep Roots featuring Rich. Shout out to Rich from West Hempstead, Long Island. And she told me, like, this is it right here, like, this is a hit. And, I do, also believe that it's a hit. And I just recently contacted the engineer that recorded that song. Shout out to Details, also from West Hempstead, Long Island. And let him know that I want to do a video, for that track. Like, look out for it, it should be coming real soon.
Who did you work with this time around?
I kept it real small as far as the roster of this one, because dealing with my life experiences, I didn't feel having a party, so to say, would be justifiable. So I had 2 features on the album, one from Rich and one from Johnny Young. Shout out to Johnny Young. And even production, I kept it to a minimum due to the fact it was created so quickly. Let me explain how quickly this album was put together. Within about a month and a half from deciding to make the album, it was finished. Like, I recorded a track at Detail Studio in West Hempstead, Long Island, and then recorded about 9 tracks in one night at Green Studio NYC. The mix downs were the longest process of the whole album. Like, I actually wrote the album in a matter of days. Like, that's what kind of work ethic I put into this project.
Mm-hmm. When will the LP become available?
We're currently waiting on a release of Just One's debut LP, Certified Established. Look out for it. And once Just One drops that, I'll be releasing another LP, which will be Man on a Mission.
How did the Man on a Mission book come about?
After reading my brother's novel, Shadyville and Mentally Illest, Why I Shot Up the Place, I had a urge to make a novel, as well as wanting to let the world know exactly who Keith Davy was in the music business, who Evolution was, who the Mental Maestro was. I mean, on Facebook, I have had several profiles, for each individual aspect of music that I was into. Being that I had an account for me as a producer, me as a rapper, me as a singer, it was even, the list goes on. But more or less, to take all that and put it in one. You know, that was the goal of Man on a Mission, you know, Legend in the Making.
Have you written or published any other books after finishing this one?
Actually, I haven't published Man on a Mission by itself. It was published together with a book called The Truths I've Learned, which is a poetry book, compiled of poems from different alter egos, so to say, that I have as a musical artist.
How are sales doing for your double book package?
Well, on the internet right now, it's slow motion from the online bookstores. And being that the book is not available in, you know, physical bookstores, I've, you know, taken it upon myself to buy the book wholesale from these online bookstores and put it on the streets myself. And as far as those sales are concerned, I definitely am motivated by how the book is being received.
Do you plan on writing any other books?
I do. I'm currently working on a book right now titled The Rules of Probability. You know, look out for it when it becomes available.
I noticed you've released the gospel LP before your last project, the non-gospel Man on a Mission LP. Did your beliefs happen to change since the release of that gospel LP, 60 Minutes of Peace?
I'm gonna have to leave that unanswered, but I'm also gonna have to say, you know, do your research when it comes to your faith. I mean, I know, you know, that's pretty much like an oxymoron. Like, how could you research something that's not, you know, seen? But more or less, I have, you know, one word for you. I'll spell it out for you. HORUS.
Of all the benefits that came from your current success and growth, what is the most important benefit of your mission so far?
I would say the benefit of leaving behind words of wisdom, documented words of wisdom for not only my kids, but, you know, my kids' kids and their kids will be, you know, one of the biggest benefits going down in history, you know?
What advice would you give to a younger version of yourself seeking success in the entertainment business?
I would say stay true to your virtues. Try to stay positive about your future in the business, and seek positive change, whether dealing with the business or dealing with anything. Just, you know, try to improve everything.
Is there anything you would like to add?
To all the viewers of this video, if you're not currently on strengthrecordings.com, please, you know, make it a priority to get there, you know, at your earliest convenience, and check out the, you know, the movement, check out the mission.